Late good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Brian Bridges Show. Welcome to the Brian Bridges Show, hosted by God First Christ Gang Media News. Y'all come on in for a brief moment. I know it's kind of late at night, up in the AM. But tonight, I want to go in on behalf of Sister Melissa Perez. You all, Melissa Perez was a young lady who was murdered by three officers out of San Antonio. So I kind of want to go over the gist and the basis of this particular case, you all, because this is a very sad case, you all. It's sad to see when your own people is, in lead or in authority, may I say, and you find them not being merciful, not being able to communicate with people and different things of this magnitude, you all. So again, this was a very, very sad case. It kind of reminded me of the Memphis case, you all, where the five police officers in Tyree Nichols' case, you all, where these five Memphis police officers unjustly killed a black man, you all, and these officers were also black in this particular case. But tonight, this case happens to affect the Hispanic community, you all, which is our brothers and sisters in the same fight, come from the same struggle, and a lot of the same background, you all. This is so many reasons why people are coming together. They want to actually defund the police and things of this nature, you all. And this is the reason why. Because like in Miss Perez case, excuse me, you all, this lady was having a mental breakdown and was killed, murdered, might I say, slaughtered by three men, you all, three men, San Antonio police officers. And again, this is a very sad case. It's very sad when these officers did not take the time to try to talk to this woman. They said in one different article that I had read, you all, that they was out there for like 30 minutes, but may it been 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, or an hour, 3, 4, 5 hours, had it come to that particular point in time, you all, because, you have more time than you have for the value of human life, you all. So again, this was a very sad case. Again, because Miss Melissa Perez is not here with us anymore, you all. She did have a beautiful family, so forth and so on, kids, grandkids, and things of this nature, and a very loving family, you all. And again, whether this lady was having a mental breakdown or whatever she may have been having, even had she had a few drinks, you all, this woman was in her house and was absolutely aware of her rights. She was aware of everything that was going on. The police did not have a search warrant, any kind of warrant to break into her house, and this is what they actually done, you all. Not only did they commit trespassing, but one of the officers broke the screen and proceeded to, as though he was going to intrude into this woman's house, you all. And this is another thing that is very bad, a very bad situation. Now, mind you, these police officers was fired on the spot, and they did go to jail for murder with $100,000 bond. And this is something that I can't understand because so many people have been getting high bonds for murder cases. We just had a Chicago case with Miss Hood, you all, and this particular case was a very sad case also. But her and her son was unjustly charged for murder, and their bonds was $3 million. Now, mind you, these three officers, they could have done a lot more to save Mrs. Perez's life. Mental illness is no death certificate. Again, mental illness is no death certificate. No death certificate. It is no right just reason to kill someone just because they are having a mental breakdown or some sort of an episode. This is very sad. Again, when these officers did not do all that they can do to communicate with this woman, nor did they bring a female officer out to kind of assist in the matter. None of these officers appeared to speak Spanish to me when this lady was Hispanic, and things of this nature. Like I said, a very poor communication, no way to kind of de-escalate the situation. Instead, these men, instead of them firing some pellet bullets or something of this nature, or some rubber bullets or, some kind of beanbag bullets, some rock salt or something, or even a taser, these men just decided to gun this lady down, man. And again, a very sad case. And I want to go in on behalf of Miss Melissa Perez tonight, you all. So again, before I get off into this news article, if you are joining me now for the first time, we always here read the news article first. This way, we can catch them in the lies that they are actually being told. Because a lot of time, the news media give you the narrative that they actually want to give. When these video footages come out, then we often see things from a different perspective, you all. So this is what we are here to do. Again, we are going in on the behalf of Miss Melissa Perez, you all, who was unjustly killed in San Antonio by some police officers, you all. So again, it's a 3 San Antonio police officers charged with murder after fatally shooting a woman. Family plans a lawsuit, you all. So again, this family is very hurt. Man, it's a very sad situation when you have I seen 5, 6 men on the scene, and good thing the rest of these officers didn't fire no shots. They didn't even see no reason to fire shots, and I still didn't see a significant enough reason when this woman is on the other side of a wall with glass in between her and the police officers for them to actually fire into someone's home. I mean, what give them the right or the audacity to actually fire into someone else's home to actually commit a murder, you all? Again, because what else are you actually doing? You are not stopping this woman. You are taking the life of this lady. Again, it's sad that 3 male officers, 3 men, are so afraid of a woman that they thought the best idea that they can come up with was to kill the lady. And this is sad, man, a very sad situation. So again, let me continue reading on. It said 3 San Antonio police officers have been charged with murder in the connection with the shooting death of a San Antonio woman, you all. So again, it said the incident happened earlier Friday morning on the 6200 block of Old Purcell Road, you all. It said firefighters initially responded to a Rosemount and Miller Pond apartments, you all, where it was reported that a woman was cutting the fire alarm cords, you all. This is how the police officers actually came on the scene, you all. They had heard that from the fire department that someone was out there cutting the alarm system. Now, we don't know had this, if Miss Perez was actually the person who was actually doing it, you all. We never did get no kind of footage or no evidence where it says that it was Mrs. Perez, you all. But the police assumed that it was Mrs. Perez. Maybe they had some sort of a suspect whom they presumed to be Mrs. Perez. But another thing that was quite puzzling to me was the fact that it was so dark. It was dark outside. So, how could these officers, just coming on the scene after the fire department had apparently been here prior to them getting there, and coming to the conclusion that it was Miss Melissa Perez, you all. But anyway, after this lady seen these officers coming to approach them, she ran into her home, you all. So let me continue on with the news article. It said police responded to this disturbance shortly afterwards. After briefly speaking with the police, the woman ran to her apartment and locked her door, you all. It said the woman, 46-year-old Melissa Perez, appeared to be experiencing a mental health crisis, according to the authorities. Officers opened fire on her following an interaction where she had ran into an apartment, you all, and threatened the officers with a hammer as they tried to force their way into the home, you all. So again, this was something, I mean, I don't know. I seen a sergeant. He was one of the scariest dudes that I had ever seen. He was actually firing shots as though he was shooting at a real live monster. But mind you, this lady is not even a good 5'5", if you ask me, you all. Very short lady, very small statue of a woman, you know. So that's why it's so baffling to me to understand why three men felt like they had to shoot through her apartment, shoot through the walls and the windows and everything to actually shoot at this woman. You know, even if she had a hammer into her home, she could have been nailing something on the wall, hanging up some pictures, you know, or even protecting herself. You have a right to actually protect yourself in your own home, you all. And this is another thing that was quite sad. You know, again, she had whatever she had, a stick, a baseball bat. I mean, she had a right to have this particular item in her home. You know, again, so this is very sad to see them actually take control in such a manner that they had, you all. It says she was pronounced dead at the scene after reviewing the evidence of this case and speaking to the district attorney, civil rights division. Warrants were issued for the three officers who shot and killed Miss Melissa Perez, you all. So it says the three officers are being charged with murder, and San Antonio Police Chief McManus in the press conference Friday evening, they're already being taken into custody. So this man did not waste no time. I mean, he saw it, and I'm pretty sure he was just as disgusted as I was when I saw it. You know, again, you have three men, and you know, one of them a ranking official who happens to be a sergeant. I mean, he should absolutely know what to do in a situation like this, man. You don't just take the lives of people. They have no value for human life. They are steady person, weapons after weapon with these high-powered bullets to penetrate these walls, these cars, so forth and so on. They are actually creating killing machines, you all. Again, this is very sad. It said the three officers are being charged with murder, and San Antonio Police Chief McManus in the press conference Friday said they're already in custody, and the three officers have been suspended without pay. You know, good for that because they often suspend these officers with pay while they get counseling and half a year off and things of this nature, and free money and things of this nature. But again, one of my main concerns was why was the bond so low, you all? So it said the officer sergeant Alfredo Alfred Flores and officer Elijah Alejandro and Nathaniel Villabosa, you all, were arrested on Friday and released on $100,000 bond, you all. So I'm pretty sure they had to come up with $10,000 apiece to actually get out, to actually get on the ground and things of this nature. It said McManus said internal affairs are still investigating the incident. It said once SAPD completes their investigation, Civil Rights Division will fully review the evidence and prepare the case for presentation to the grand jury, you all. So again, it said, in the meantime, the minister addressed that the family of the victims, our condolences to Melissa Perez's entire family. McManus said, I want to assure her daughter that the incident will continue to be thoroughly investigated, as are officers involved shooting, you all. It said a nonprofit organization focused on police accountability, condemning the actions of the officers, you all. So this Act 4SA, it said, we acknowledge that the speed in which these officers have been charged, but let's be honest, it's senseless. The loss of the life should never occur, said the executive director Ananda Thomas, you all. It said true justice would have been responding to the community members and having a mental health crisis in a compassionate manner. And again, this is something that I don't understand. Why aren't these officers more compassionate with mental health people? They're not in their right state of mind. You have to be compassionate when dealing with people. You should try to talk them down, trying to talk them down from being upset. Try to rationalize with these people. You don't just bust a move on somebody that's unstable. I mean, they know that. And again, this was a small lady. Why not rush in there and tackle her? I mean, she can't swing but one time. I mean, what is that gonna do? I mean, it ain't like the lady had no firearm in her hand. Again, like I said, and whatever she chose to carry in her hand inside the comfort of her own home is she has a right to do that. Again, this is very, very sad and sickening to actually see, you all. And I do have a news clip to share with you all about this particular case, so you can get a better perspective of what had actually occurred. Again, copyright disclaimer under Title 17 USC Sections 107, allowances made for fair uses for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is permitted by the copyright statute and might otherwise be infringed. Non-profit education and personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. So again, if you are just joining us, we going in on behalf of Sister Melissa Perez. You all, Melissa Perez was unjustly killed in her own home by three San Antonio police officers, better known as the Three Stooges. I said it. Yep, better known as the Three Stooges. You all, the Three Stooges were somewhat of a cartoon character, somewhat of a stage play game trio, you all, that used to stumble up and accidentally help people, by way of misfortune, you all. So it was a comedy skit back then, but these dudes do fit that bill, again, because, like I said, man, it's sad when your own people can't even talk you down, whether it's black, white, Hispanic, Mexican, Chinese, Vietnamese, whatever you is, it's sad when your own people come in a police uniform to protect and serve, to serve the people and actually kill someone, when you supposed to be coming out to help, you coming out checking on some fire extinguishers or a cable wire or a telephone wire or this appeared to be some alarm wires, you all, something that had probably a value of $20 or $30, again, this is no, man, these people don't have the right mind frame to actually be doing some of the work that they are doing, you all. Again, it's sad when you don't have no conflict resolution and your own people again come out to these different scenes in different places and actually kill somebody. Again, man, it's something that I can never understand.
Authorities releasing this chilling body camera video of the incident. 46-year-old Melissa Perez was allegedly armed with a hammer. Those officers now suspended without pay. Here's ABC's Phil Lipoff. Tonight, 3 San Antonio police officers charged with murder after shooting a woman inside her home. That woman, police say, was in the throes of a mental health crisis. Officers approaching 46-year-old Melissa Perez early Friday after receiving a call that she had cut wires to a fire alarm at her apartment complex. Hey, lady, get over here. Perez then running back to her first floor unit. Police removing a window screen to gain access. That's when they say Perez grabbed a hammer and they drew their weapons. You're gonna get shot! Shoot me! You're not gonna work! Police say Perez then threw a glass candle at one officer. According to police, Perez ultimately smashes that front window with her hammer. Hey, what's up? Police opened fire, missing Perez, who they say then came to the door with hammer in hand. Perez is shot through the door and killed. The 3 officers arrested and charged with murder are Sergeant Alfred Flores, Nathaniel Villalobos, and Eliezer Alejandro.
The shooting officers' actions were not consistent with SAPD's policy and training.
Through their family's attorney, Perez's daughter says, "This breaks my heart. I always trusted the police to protect me, and now I don't know who to trust." All 3 officers have been immediately suspended.
And again, that's a very, very sad situation. Condolences to the family of Miss Perez. I'm praying that y'all get everything that y'all deserve. Your mother should be here today. She should not be dead. This is something that we need to come up with some type of solution. For especially these officers that are actually going to these scenes knowing that they are dealing with mental health patients. They don't have nobody on the clock. They steady hiring 2, 3, 500, 600 more officers. Hire one from human resources, somebody that can actually come out there and talk to some people, some psychologists, can actually come on the scene as a negotiator or something. This is some simple things. This should be one of these type of people on shift, first shift, second shift, and third shift. And I'm pretty sure y'all running 2 shifts, a morning shift and an evening shift. How hard is it to have 2 people around the clock 24/7 where they can actually come out here and deal with mental health patients, you all? Again, had even if she was or was not in a mental state, she knew her rights. She knew that these officers needed a warrant to actually come into her home. She was exercising her right, and that's something she had a right to do, you all. I do have a list of a 1-800 number attorney that you can call. Anybody can call if they have been unjustly treated by the police department, you all. Again, I know it's kind of hard to say, well, who we gonna actually call on the police? Police the police. Again, like I say, it's sad when you put your faith and trust into these particular people to come out here and help, and they come out here and take lives. And this is not what they hired to do. We don't want these kind of people in our community, in their community, in whoever community. We do not want officers like this on our streets. We do not want these type of people around our children, and they can't come and resolve conflict issues. This is what the police is there for, to be a mediator, to come up with good solutions, positive solutions, where both parties are come to agreement, agree to disagree, or something of this nature. Again, it's very sad Not one police officer tried to speak Spanish with this lady. They ain't called her daughter. They ain't called none of her people out to come try to calm her down. I mean, it was just no tactics at all. This was piss poor police work, and very sad that it happened to Miss Perez. So again, condolences to Miss Perez. God first, Christ gang. Peace. We out, y'all. See y'all tomorrow. Blessings. Good night.